Hey, folks, welcome back to Manor Road Studio. My name is Dale. This is the Alive Podcast. And in case you've forgotten what Alive stands for, authentic love, imagination, victor, and evolve, which to me are the five tenets of a good life. This is a dose of Dale, and I told you yesterday that I'd be talking about the vaccine. We can't really say the C word on YouTube. I mean, you can, but then they may not publish your video, so you know. One thing I want to tell you right now, though, is all my videos are live, unedited, and what I say I cannot take back. So if you like that kind of setup, hit the subscribe button, give me a thumbs up, and by all means, share in comments what you would like me to talk about. Usually, the things that are topics I like to discuss are just life. I mean, how to grow, how to live, and how to live fully alive. Now, today, we're obviously talking about the vaccine. So I want you for just a minute to put all your preconceived notions aside and just come here with the ability to go, you know what? The truth is, I don't really know much about this, so I'm going to listen. The truth is, I don't know much either, but I did do a little bit of research. So the information I'm going to give you came from American Medical Association, Harvard, Yale, Johns Hopkins University, CDC, and WHO. To me, those are probably a lot better places to get information from than social media or friends and family and people that might have a biased opinion. And I want to make a disclaimer here too. This isn't from or what do you call it, entertainment purposes only. I'm definitely not a doctor or a scientist. And I know there are people that have an aversion to vaccines simply because maybe they lost a loved one as maybe a reaction to a vaccine or something. I happen to know a friend that lost a child due to an adverse reaction to a vaccine. Even though it's rare, it happens, and I am sensitive to those situations. So here's something I want to tell you. In the U.S., 133 million doses of the vaccine have been administered. 47.4 million are fully vaccinated, and 14.45% of the total U.S. population is totally vaccinated. Supposedly, it takes around 80% of the population to have what they call herd immunity. We're not there yet. We're a long way away, but it seems like we're heading in the right direction. If you look historically at vaccines in the past, they've done an amazing job of eradicating pandemics or I guess diseases that were debilitating, life-threatening, or whatever the case may be, or I guess to be better, say infectious diseases. This vaccine seems to be no different, except one thing that seemed positive is the vaccine doesn't contain live virus, contrary to popular belief. I think that's important. And vaccinations are the safest means of protecting the public. To have everyone wear a mask and ask everyone to social distance, ask everyone to stay at home, that all sounds good, but in practice and implementation, it's quite difficult to do. So the vaccine gives us a level of protection that just adhering to our own thoughts and biases, we probably couldn't do otherwise. There are 4 companies currently offering the vaccine in the United States. 3 are a 2-dose system. 1 is a 1-dose vaccine. The efficacy, this is what pretty much amazes me. The efficacy at its lowest is 72% effective. At the highest is 95% effective. I'm not even sure the flu vaccines, because there's so many variants that change every year, I'm not so sure they have an efficacy rate like that. Now, the question pops up all the time is how long does the vaccine last? Obviously, we have no clue. It might be like the flu vaccine and you have to get it annually. Nobody knows that yet. Even the companies, Johnson & Johnson, Pfizer, Moderna, all these, they don't even have that information, so they're not publicly making a proclamation as such. It's working much better than everyone expected, and the public, even though at first the public was somewhat skeptical because there were political biases, there were religious biases, and there were still a level of people in America that thought it was a hoax, that it was a what do you call it? It was a manufactured vaccine, which it wasn't. COVID has been around for decades. This particular strand came from a bat, and the thinking is that it somehow infected a domestic animal that in turn infected a human being somewhere in the Wuhan region of China. But it was not lab manufactured virus, contrary to popular belief. Vaccines do not save lives. Vaccinations do. That was probably one of the boldest statements I got out of my little bit of research. You can have all the vaccine in the world, but if no one uses them, you're really not getting anywhere. Before you make a judgment, do your own research. I really advocate that. Look at CDC, look at AMA, look at the Johns Hopkins, Dana-Farber, all these major, Vandy, if you will, all these major university, college, campus, hospitals, whatever you want to call it, because there's a lot of really, really good data out there that I think if you're on the fence, that might help you make a decision, because you're ultimately the one that's got to make your own decision. And I'm not going to advocate one way or the other for that. I'm just trying to give you as much data as I can to help you make that decision. This isn't political. It isn't religious. So don't make it that way. This isn't a Trump thing, a Biden thing, a Democrat thing, or a Republican thing. This is an infectious disease that has killed over 500,000 people in America. And we have an opportunity now to do something about it. So if you're in a situation where you can't get vaccinated for whatever reason, or you're just totally against it, I do advise you to at least take some kind of precautions, like continue to wearing a mask, social distancing, or stay away from public venues if possible. In September, this was a real interesting thing I learned. In September of 2020, only 17% of doctors said with the current information available, they would be willing to take the vaccine. Only 17%. Now, going on to March 15th, upwards of 90% of all physicians say that there's enough data now to state that the vaccine does seem to be not only effective but safe. So anyway, I'm not going to bore you with any more of that. But I told you yesterday I would at least do some research on the vaccine. I did. I'm glad I did. I've already had my first vaccine. My second one comes up April 4th. And after doing the research, I am confident I made the right decision. I am a immunosuppressed person. I have stage 4 terminal cancer. My doctor advised me to get the vaccine, but I still did my due diligence, did a little bit of research, but nothing to the effect of what I've done in the last 24 hours. Like I said, I don't claim to be an expert. This is for entertainment purposes only. I did go to the sites that I aforementioned, and I do suggest you do the same thing. Now, that's my dose of Dale for today. It's not a typical video that I do because I don't claim to be someone that has this kind of knowledge. But like I say in all my videos, I really realize every single day of the week how little I know, and it makes me hungry to learn. So I'm glad I did that research. I encourage you to do the same. I don't know what tomorrow's topic is going to be yet, but I have a feeling it will be something with how to live more fully alive, how to embrace life. There was a question I read a little while ago. You always heard the old saying, live every day as though it were your last. If you knew that this were the last day of your life, would you be doing what you're currently doing? Boy, soak on that for a little bit. That's pretty powerful. We may touch on that again tomorrow. Anyway, it's a dose of Dale. Hit that subscribe button. Give me a thumbs up. Share me with your friends and family. Leave me some comments. I love to hear from you. And if there's a topic you'd like for me to tackle, I'll do it. Like I said, it's unedited, it's raw. I can't take back what I say. So literally what you see is what you get.